Okay, very warm welcome to this free TradingView setup. One of the reasons why I decided to do this, and I am going to talk a bit slower, by the way. I am Irish, and I know Irish people will be saying, why is he talking so slow for? Well, we have a tendency to talk 100 miles an hour, and people never understand us. So I'm slowing it down for this video, all right? Uh, and I hope people can clearly understand what I'm saying, because sometimes with the accent, people don't. So I'm going to apologize for that. I'm also going to give you a bit of a warning. I am very passionate about trading. I've been doing it for 10 years. My passion has never got weaker. If anything, it continues to grow and get stronger and stronger. And sometimes I tend to curse, all right? And it's not out of I'm trying not to curse, by the way. I don't do it on purpose, but it's just out of passion, all right? And I can't help it sometimes because I know what it's like to be a beginner at that stage, and I know what it's like to probably not be in the position you're in life right now. In some people's cases, I have worked with a lot of people in the past, and I say this to everybody. I have heard some horrific stories. I have heard some great stories. Um, and my heart's always in it for people when they do this, right? Because it's so tough and it's a long journey. And if you think that becoming a trader is going to happen in months and simply by joining a signal group and simply by putting in all these indicators and reading candlestick patterns and EMAs and MMAs and RSIs and all that. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and I don't mean this to put anybody down. I'm sorry. I done it all myself. I tried it all myself. All of that stuff is bullshit, absolute bullshit. And what's one of the reasons I decided just to make a free TradingView setup was everybody always asks me, Finney, what broker do you use? And I always say, well, can you trade? And they say, no, or not yet. And I'll say, well, are you good at what pair do you analyze on TradingView? And they say, what's TradingView? And I say, mate, don't even look at a broker until you learn how to trade. All right. If you cannot trade and you're putting money into a broker, just stand in front of the mirror, do what I done, and say to yourself, I'm a fucking idiot. It's exactly the same as, going into a boxing ring, which is an analogy I like to use a lot, and thinking you can take on Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali or Evander Holyfield or any of them greats in the heavyweights without any prior training. The ring and Mike Tyson, let's just say, is the market. And you're stepping in against, excuse me, against the best in the world, the best algorithm in the world. And it is an algorithm, all right? It is a setup. Whether you believe that or not, I show people that in the mentorships that I do, and then they realize it is. But if you're stepping in against the greatest in the world and you don't even know how to throw a punch or defend yourself, congratulations, you're going to get the bollocks knocked out of you. And by the way, you personally, I'm not personally attacking you. People sometimes take this the wrong way. I'm actually talking about myself most of the time. I was the idiot that put money in their broker and thought I was going to make a fortune. I was the idiot that stepped into a boxing ring 10 years ago or, into the market and thought, I'll get this. I'll go start trading stuff like gold, which is insane. All right. And I just thought a couple of indicators, a bit of candlestick patterns, and I'll be good to go. All that stuff is nonsense. Okay, I will get into this, by the way, the lecture about setting up TradingView. But people that know me know I like to talk. I like to I like to point people in the right direction, and I like to be brutally honest with them. You know, starting off with TradingView, even setting it up, so that you can actually start to analyze the market is exactly where you should be starting, not at a broker. It's I don't look at anybody that asks me, what broker Finny do you use. I don't think, I don't be like, you're a fucking idiot. Excuse my language, or I'm cursing or at it. Um, because I done the same. All right. But I don't answer that question anymore. I just say, go on to TradingView and learn how to trade first. What's TradingView, Finny? And how do you set it up, Fanny? So this is me just showing you how to set it up. Excuse me while I take a wee drink of water here. Um, to be clear, there is no point watching any of this video if you're not, or this lecture, if you're not going to get into learning how to trade before you put money on the line. All right. There's no point watching this video if you think you're going to be a trader within the next year. All right, there, said it. In the next 12 months. If you think it's just going to come like that, you are sadly mistaken. Don't listen to what them people out there tell you that it's easy and all you have to do is put money into this broker. They're just using affiliate links, all right? And the affiliate links is to the broker. And congratulations, they get about £250 worth of your money. I'm not sure what that is in dollars, Australian dollars, or dirham. I'm saying dirham because I'm in Abu Dhabi. Great spot, by the way. Absolutely love it. I've moved here from Ireland. Beautiful place, beautiful city. Uh, but that's how they make their money, and they put you into a signal group where you're supposed to follow these signals and make a fortune. All right, it's a load of nonsense. Now, if it was swing trading, like long term trading, I could understand it. Right, I can accept signal groups that do long term trading. That's fine because you don't have to be in exactly the same spot as theirs, as long as it's not moved too far away. So, partly this is part setting up TradingView, and it's also partly a chat and telling you what works and what doesn't work, to set you off on the right path. And I pray to God that you do make it as a trader if that's what you want to do, and that this does help you at least get you off in the right direction and stay away from signal groups, from candlestick patterns, from indicators, from EMAs, and all that nonsense. The fact is, 98% of all traders fail. 98% don't become traders. Do you know why? Because 98% learn all the same shit. The same candlestick pattern. And I'm not saying this, maybe you're the person that could be listening to this thinking, mate, I've been doing this for 6 months. Candlestick patterns and using indicators and whatnot, and volume and Bollinger Bands, and it goes on and on and on. And it can be very disheartening. Um, it can actually be insulting to some people. I partly don't give a shit if it insults somebody, because harden up. All right, this is trading. This is hard. I done exactly the same thing. All right, I had to take it on the chin as well. I spent 18 months and almost £20,000 on courses and mentorships that taught me all the same stuff until I locked myself in an office, my office, a makeshift office I had built at home, and I closed myself out from the world. I lost a lot of friends over it, not because I didn't like them people. I still like them people to this day, and they don't like me because it probably seemed like I was ignoring them. It wasn't that at all. It was just I wanted to be a trader, and I knew I had to figure it out, and I had no time to socialize, and I had no money to go to weddings, and sometimes I even went 2-3 days without food because I couldn't afford to buy food, because I pretended, I was into my fitness then, and I pretended that I was fasting because I didn't have the courage to ask somebody for help. Like I can't eat, if you know what I mean. I'd be very proud that way, and I shouldn't have been, because if you're stuck in that situation, you should be asking for help. But that's just a little. I'll not go into too much depth, but that's where I came from. And 18 months after that, spending 20 grand on nonsense, I spent 18 months on my own, breaking down the market, to not using indicators, not looking at candlestick patterns, just simply looking at market structure and decoding what I know as an algorithm, meaning it ain't random. And thank God it is an algorithm, because without that, I would never figure it out. All right. But this is the place to start. So bear with me. This is going to look a little bit different than what yours might open up with. All right. Because I have my own TradingView set up a long time now. And I'm going to take it back to default mode. So it's going to look more like what your chart will be when you sign into TradingView for the first time. And I'm also going to give you a few tips as to why I changed TradingView, what time frames to be looking at, what tools to use, all right, and ultimately it's going to get you off on the right foot. Well, I really hope it does, and I hope this helps you, and I hope it keeps your eyes off brokers and nonsense like that, and even keep your eyes off prop firms until you can trade, all right, because you must learn how to trade first. You must see your results on paper trading and demo trading. And whenever you do that, yes, that is the time to, put your money where your mouth is. Take the next step up. But it doesn't come overnight. If you're looking to get rich quick, this is not it. All right. If you're looking to lose a lot of money quick, doing the wrong things, that is, this is it. If you're looking for get rich slowly on the right way and not lose any money, then this is for you. Then watch the rest of this video. All right, wherever you are in the world, I hope you get a benefit out of it. All right, and again, I'm going to apologize a bit about the cursing. I can't help it. It is a passion thing for me, and God forgive me, sometimes that just comes out in lying. So please, wherever you are, please accept my apologies, and I really hope you enjoy this. So let's get started. All right, I'm just going to open up Google. Okay, if you don't have Google, I have Google Chrome. All right, doesn't matter if you have Microsoft or Apple, it's all going to be the same. All right, so up in the obviously the address bar, I'm going to get you to type www.tradingview.com, as you can see up in the top left corner here. All right, and it's going to take you to this home screen. Now yours might look a bit different. Yours might be a different picture. Sometimes it changes the picture on this, but as long as you're on tradingview.com, that is where you want to be. This is where you're going to spend all your time. I mean, all the time. This. You should be looking at this minimum. I mean, minimum on a laptop. A phone is no use, by the way. Not no use. If you have the only thing you have is a phone and you don't have a laptop, or at the very least an iPad, that would be pushing it. You're not going to be able to learn this. You're not going to be able to analyze, because you have to see the market. Okay, you have to see what's in front of you. All this nonsense about making money from a phone is bollocks. Don't listen to it. You're going to lose money. You're not starting this or following this dream to lose money. All right? If you're a gambler, stay away from this. And I'm sorry, I'm very sometimes I seem doom and gloom. I'm actually a very happy person. I really, really am. I have a great life. Um, I have great family. I have great friends, and I am a great trader. All right. It took a lot of time to get there, but I am a great trader. But I just like to warn people about the 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 risks or the faults that you might make in trading, because I went through it and it hurt a lot. I lost a lot of money out of it at the beginning, and I don't want that to happen to anybody else. So please don't take what I say with a pinch of salt. I'm not tooting my own horn. I am 10 years at this. All right, 10 years, and I am a profitable trader. All right, I have, as I say, went from not being able to buy food to moving to Abu Dhabi, just because I felt like it. All right. I'll not say too much about what I do, what I spend my money on, otherwise in the background. But I've come from nothing and turned myself and my family's life around from this. All right. So I hope you take a bit of motivation from that. Um, or maybe hope that I'm not, realize I'm not a dickhead or anything like that. All right. So anyway, you're going to come to this home screen. All right. In the top right corner where you see my mouse, you're going to see this, outline of a man per se. All right. And you're going to see sign in or sign up, depending on what you are. All right. Now, because I have an account, this will pop up. Maybe you have an account, but if you don't see, you'll see down at the bottom where I'm waving my mouse, it says sign up. All right. I'm just waving my mouse slowly back and forth down on the right side of the screen. It'll either come to this where you may have an account before, or it's going to say sign up. All right. Now you've got options on how to sign up. Sign up with your email or your Gmail account if you have one. Okay. It's going to ask you to come up with a name, obviously, and it's going to ask you to come up with a password. I believe it has to be a minimum of 12 characters, and it's going to ask you to verify your account. All right. Now, I'm just going to go to sign in. All right. I'll just go back. I'm just going to go again here. Excuse me. TradingView. I'm just going to click this man. I'm going to go to sign in. And I'm just going to go in with my account that I use. All right. And hit sign in. Because I have an account here, obviously. And it's going to look, I'm trying to set it up exactly how your default screen would, pop up. But it's going to ask you to come up with a username, come up with a password. It'll say or something around, has to be minimum 12 characters. As you fill in the password, all right, it's going to light up these red bars until they turn green. Unless they turn green, you cannot create an account, meaning that the password is not strong enough or long enough. All right. So unfortunately, you might have to come up with a big, long, dopey password for some reason and create an account. All right. Now, when you sign in, all right, after you've done this, if the chart doesn't pop up, I want you to go to product. You don't have to hit any buttons. Just float your mouse over product and left click on your mouse, super charts. All right. And it won't pop up like this. All right. I'm going to tell you that now. It will not look like this because this is my setup. All right. This is what I'm going to lead you to. Yours will look more like, I'll just go to default. All right. And it don't mind me, I'm just mucking about here to make it look more like how yours would probably look. All right. Again, we're going to change all this. You know, we're gonna show you what yours might look like. All right. I'm gonna put it back to how it should look like, or the best way to make it look like. And there's a method to my madness. All right. Now, in this on this right corner, all right, you're going to see a whole load of stocks. All right. So I'll give you an example. I'll just go to stocks here, right? I've only got Nevada and Netflix I'm sitting looking at. Just being an out of nosiness. I do not invest in stocks or trade stocks, by the way. It's just pure nosiness, right? Bear with me. Yours is going to look something like this here. I'm just going to add all these pairs in. Or sorry, pairs. I'm just going to add all these stocks in, all right? Yours is going to look something like that, all right? Now, how to make that pop in and out is simply, see this little box up here in the right corner, left, click on the mouse, all right? All these pairs, all right? All these stocks, should I say. Delete every single one of them. See, when I hover my mouse over a little bin pops up, just keep left clicking them. I want them all to disappear. Every one of them. All I want you to go with is Euro USD. All right, that's it. Now, how do you add Euro USD? This is the chart you're looking at right now, by the way. In the 1 minute time frame, I'll just change it to the daily. How you're going to add Euro USD to your chart is simply, see this plus button here? All right, you see my mouse hovering out over it. Left click it. All right. In the search bar, I want to go to Euro USD. Not in stocks, by the way, all right? So make sure it's not in any of these here. Just go to all, or you can go to, well, we don't even have to worry about that. But just go to all, and I suggest going to Black Bull, all right? So find the broker Black Bull. Okay, see the way my chart up here in the top left, or the top left says where I'm waving about, it says Black Bull markets. You're going to go for Black Bull markets, all right? If you can't find it there, don't be panicking too much. Just pick any other one, all right? You can go to this one if you wish, all right? CMC markets if that's the first one pops up, or Onada if that's another one that pops up, right? Just left click the plus button and it will appear here, all right? Just like my Black Bull is there, it will appear here. Okay, look at all these, mental. Don't worry, again, if all this looks different than what you see, we're all going to end up in the exact same spot at the end of the day. All right. Now, another thing you're going to have is, just let me close this. So to close it again, you just left click this box so it pulls away to the right hand side. Okay. If you don't have any of these dots or none of that there, please relax. All right. It doesn't matter. Yours is going to end up like this, all right? Or something like this. Just let me change the settings here. Advanced, we don't need ideas, right? That's what's on. It's going to end up something like this. Currently, it's going to be something like this plus, and please don't worry because I'm jumping back and forth, all right? I don't want you to worry. I'm going to show you exactly how to get it to where you want it to be. All right. I'm just going back to almost default mode that yours is at. All right. Yours is looking like this. Now, I hate this. All right. I have hated it from the day I started the trade for numerous reasons. because I don't like a white background. It burns the life out of my eyes. If you can look at this as my Google, the black bit at the top, it's all dark themed. And that's how I believe people should be looking at the chart, because you study this so much that it will burn the eyeballs out of you. All right. It really, really will. And you don't need that. And I know these may be silly, they seem like silly wee things. Or what's this tube going on about? I like dark theme. All right. And we're gonna move the market to dark theme. All right. Because it's far better for your eyes, and you can sit and study it a lot longer without getting your brain fried. So the first thing we're going to do is, all right, top left corner, left click it. All right. I want you to throttle this. See where it says dark theme? Just left click on that. All right. Confirm. Yes. It'll go dark. All right. Now, before I go any further, all right, again, if it looks a little bit different, please don't worry. All right. We are, as I say, going to end up exactly where mine is at the very end. But there's a few things I want to talk about before I move on, right? If you don't have a subscription to TradingView, it's going to keep a wee box will pop up and ask you for, like, do you want a 14-day trial and all that. By all means, you can do that, no problem. But I suggest, I'm just left clicking up here, is going to explore plans, right? And you can go to monthly or annually, right? Meaning, if you buy it all in one chunk, it's going to be, this is in pounds, by the way, right now, $12.95 a month. If you buy it in one big 12, one big chunk. Or monthly, it's going to be $14.95, right, in pounds. Again, I think that's about, give or take, maybe 80, 90 dirham a month. Okay, if you're from the UAE, I'm not sure what it is in dollars. It'll probably pop up in your location what the price is, all right? I suggest, all right, I'm on this premium, all right, because I like a lot of, where is it? Historical bars, all right? That just means candlesticks. I'd be looking a lot further back in the background. If you're only starting out, go for the monthly one. Because if you don't go for the monthly one, you are not going to be able to save how you've set your chart out. Meaning every time you sign back in, the chart's going to go back to default mode. If that doesn't matter to you, then fine, no problem at all. But if you're totally serious becoming a trader, all right, then you don't want to be wasting your time going through this whole rigmarole again. All right. So I suggest at least starting with this one. All right. I am going to put up, and again, I have no affiliate links to TradingView, but I know if I give you a link to mine, you should get 15% off um, the monthly fee. All right. I'll put it in the comment section of this video, all right, the description section of this video. And you can use it or not use it. I don't care. Okay, it's up to yourself. Some people's a bit like, oh, he's only doing this here to get affiliate money from it. I don't even know what the affiliate money is. I don't really care. All right, you use it or not. You want to get 15% off? Rip away, use it. If not, don't worry about it. There's no difference to me. Okay, but just giving you a heads up. So you'll want to go through that section. It's saying downgrade for me because again I'm on the premium, but you're just going to hit this one if you really want to take this seriously. All right. So moving back to this chart, it's switched on the dark theme. All right. If the background is not like this, okay, I'm going to take you through my settings. All right. And I'm simply going to tell you to right click. All right. Right click anywhere in the chart that is not over a candlestick. Just right click. Left click on settings. Right. And I want you to copy everything I have. All right. So if you have to pause the video, please do. This is on the symbol section. All right. This just means your candlesticks, which is, again, if you don't know what candlesticks are, it's simply these wee bars, all right? All right, that's the solid color you see is the body, all right? The borders is just the outline of the body of the candle. And the wick is just the color of, see these little specks, wicks they're called, right? I tend to have called them specks a lot myself, but that's what they are. So if you want to change the color of them, right, you can. You left click on it, you can turn them grey, right? You can turn them a pinkish red color. You can turn them blue, all right? Or you can just put them back to default. If you're happy enough for all that, fine, right? But follow everything I have ticked there, right? Status line, okay? Follow everything I have here, right? Even the background, right? You just hold the left click on your mouse and drag it back and forth. Okay, so have everything ticked that I have. People have this, right? Volume and all that there. You don't need it. Okay? Get rid of it. Now, scales and lines, again, same thing. Follow everything I have in this. Right? The same format. Canvas, okay? Follow it. As you can see, here I have solid and here I have black. All right? That's how I like it. If you don't like that, by all means make it lighter. All right? Make it grey. Make it purple. I think it's crazy to be purple, but I go with black. All right? And the vertical and her horizon lines, right? You see the wee crisscross lines were at the start. Again, I have them set to black and the capacity turned way down. You can simply just go to none. All right? You don't need them. They're just a distraction. And part of trading, by the way, is everything is set up to distract you. Believe you me, everything is set up to distract you in this. I know people's like rolling their eyes. What do you mean? Like, how's crosshairs, going to distract you? How's grid lines going to distract me? Even the very color of the candles is a complete distraction. All right. And I'll maybe touch a wee bit on it. I talked a lot about the mentor, people in the mentorship, but I'll give you a wee bit of it too. So the crosshair basically is this, where the price is right now. All right. You can make it thicker, thinner. Sorry, this is the crosshair. See the wee crosshair on my mouse, not this here. I can make it thicker, thinner, and whatnot. I can make it wider. All right. So it's got wider. I can turn it to green. So it's got green. All right. I just have it sitting around there. Again, I like it to fade away into the background. Okay, so have everything the same as me. Or, you're your own person. You can leave it that way you want. Watermark, some people have it, the watermark's just this. Okay, so let me go to, where was it? Oh, yes, watermark, ticker. All right, so it's in the background. You know what you're looking at. Why do I only have Euro USD? Because this is all I trade. I don't trade anything else. I don't do gold. I don't do Euro GBP or GBP USD or Japanese yen or franc or goes on and on and on. I don't trade anything but this. Why? It's the best pair. It's the most readable pair, the most readable algorithm. And more importantly, you should only ever master one thing. All right, see all these traders, I see them all the time. All right, they have loads of pairs down the right hand side of their screen. If they can't find a trade in Euro USD, they'll go to GBP JPY. It's a pure sign of impatience. It's a guaranteed sign of a gambler. And it's also a guaranteed sign of a bullshitter. I see them all the time on YouTube and whatnot. They will be doing a live session and they have 10 pairs down the side of their screen. And people's texting them, "Oh, I can't, can you go look at this for me? Can you look at gold for me? Can you look at silver for me? Can you look at, I need something. I need some sort of trade. I need some sort of dopamine hit because I'm a fucking gambler." That's what they are. And then people are feeding the gamblers. All they want is that hit to get in. Right? They don't have the patience to wait for a trade. If you can't find a trade on Euro USD at least 3 times a week, which is more than enough to make a fortune, then you don't trade because you don't know what you're looking at. Think of it this way, right? Simply put, you wake up in the morning, you go to the chart, you analyze the chart, you can't find a trade, but you still enter a trade anyway. What does that mean? You gambled. You took a chance. You said to yourself, frig it. I'll just hit buy here. I'll just hit sell here. You gambled. A real trader, a profitable trader, if he cannot or she cannot read the market, if she gets up in the morning or he goes to the chart, analyze it, and cannot see a trade, they will not trade. That's the day over for them, or part of the day. They'll let the market play out and they'll come back later until voila, hallelujah, there's a trade right now, just what I've been waiting on. And that's the one that will be profitable because the risk taker, the gambler, the people that's getting into trades that don't know what they're doing, right? That just want to take a chance, they eat into profits, or even worse, they eat into drawdown, meaning they're going backwards. And then they start taking bigger risks, right? Because they want to claw that back quicker. And guess what? Bigger risk, bigger loss. The profitable trader, remember this, won't trade that often and will definitely not trade if they cannot explain the exact trade they're about to get into. If you can't explain the trade, there is no trade. Okay? So that's why I only pick Euro USD. I know this pair like the back of my hand. I have been in Euro USD from the start or the end of 2015. So somewhere around here. So I'm just looking down at the date at the bottom here, by the way. Somewhere around here, I started to get into trading. And I went through all this. All of it. I know this pair like the back of my hand. And that will pay you a fortune. Alright? Once you learn it, I'm telling you, you'll get easily 2-3 trades a week. Easy. And it will make you all the money you desire. And obviously, I cannot guarantee that for anybody because I'm not mentoring you or anything like that. Nobody can guarantee you're going to be a trader. I tell you one person who can guarantee you're going to be a trader is you, because you have to ask yourself: is this what I want to do? Right? Am I going to be a trader? Yes or no? It's that simple of a decision, by the way. If the answer is yes, and you're a dog, you're a workhorse, like you're relentless, and you show up every day, even if it's only for half an hour, then it's only a matter of time. But it's useless, by the way, absolutely useless if you're learning the wrong things. You can have all the motivation and drive in the world. If you're learning the wrong way to trade, you're never going to be a trader. Right? Again, it's not to scare you; it's to maybe snap you out of something that you're in and to make sure you start off on the right path. And by the way, everything I say is out of pure love. It is out of love. I don't want people making the same mistakes I did. All right. So I'm sorry you might think I rant and ramble sometimes. Honestly, it's coming from a place, I want you to do well, all right? And I don't want you to do the same stupid shit I did. And I want to get your mind right. So yes, it is a TradingView setup, but I'm not that sort of person, right? I wear my heart on my sleeve. I talk from experience and from emotion and heart, and I just want you to do well. Simple as that, all right? So, without me rambling on anymore, that's the way your canvas should be set up, right? Now you go to trading. Now, trading, I would make sure you have all these ticked, all right? And unticked what you don't need, right? Just this is what this actually is whenever you go to do paper trading. Now, this isn't a lecture on paper trading or how to set or how to put trades on. This is just simply setting up TradingView. But what this means is whenever you go to do paper trading, which is demo money trading, you can actually buy and sell here live on the chart while you practice, totally free of charge, and you've no money to lose. All you're going to get is your results. Okay? You're just going to get your results. And whenever you can see the results here, guess what? Then you can start thinking about, I can go do a prop firm challenge, or I can fund myself now and fund a broker, which people ask me about, and now I can truly start to really test myself and implement what I've learned on this. Right, you're still going to be stuck on this not stuck on it. You're still going to be on this every day. This is where you analyze the market at. This is where you find your entries. Okay, but this is the trading section, right? As you can see, it'll say buy and sell buttons. Up here in the top left is buy and sell buttons, all right? Clicking, all right? I'm not going to take you through this right now. Just give me 1 second. But it's going to ask you to, sign into paper trade, okay? It went automatically to this because I hit buy or sell. I'm not signed in the paper trade. All right, you're going to hit paper trade, and I'm sorry this is going through this now. And then you're going to sign into an account, all right? And by the way, if it pops up and your entire chart's disappeared, just hit this, all right? Collapse panel, left button disappears, right? So now I am signed in it, and I can, buy or sell and put my take profit in place, my take or my stop loss in place, etc., etc. Sorry, this is going off track a little bit, but that's just what that means, right? So again, trading. This is what you want set up. Now alerts, again, same thing. Just pause the video, have what I have, and events, right? This is economic event. I don't need to see this, right? Again, another distraction. Don't care about latest news. Don't want news notifications. Um, because I'm always keeping an eye on news anyway. All right. In a sense, only looking at high impact news. Again, that's for many, many lectures if people were deciding to do something like that. And when you're finished, right, now you need an account for this, by the way, but when you're finished doing all this, what you want to do is left click on template here, save as, right, and type your name. If your name's Sean, all right, save. If your name's Muhammad, if your name's Michelle, etc., etc. If your name's Mo Salah, hello. By the way, Liverpool fan here. All right. So sorry if any of you hate Liverpool. So I don't know why Mo Salah popped into my head, but there you go. That's the way you want it. All right. Now, I know this is going to be on your screen, by the way. You're probably thinking, what's all these wee red bars down at the bottom? It's because of this indicator section, right? Now, I don't use indicators. This is just me. My watermarks, where you see Funny Fella and Fffx range profile. I don't use that. I was years old. And then Asia's range, I don't use that either. But you're going to have this, all right? So I'm just punching this in volume, okay? You're going to have this down here, except yours is going to be this color, all right? You may even have an EMA, all right, moving average exponential, okay? One of these lines, wonderful looking, blah, blah, blah. Delete it. Delete volume, all right? So you're going to see this little drop down button here for your Vanny. Delete. Volume, candlestick patterns. I say you might be the person that's looking at this video right now, and guess what you've got on? Relative strength index, and you think that's going to make you money. Absolute nonsense. Delete it immediately. All right. Trading is not indicators. It is not volume. It definitely is not candlestick patterns. All right. What a load of nonsense. And don't, I'll argue to the death. Anybody wants to challenge me on that. All right. I spent almost 20 grand on mentorships and programs and courses. And it was all the same dribble. All right. It was all the same. Here, this candlestick pattern, and look at this indicator. And this is how you use an EMA with an MMA, with an RSI, with a Bollinger Band, blah, 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 blah. None of it worked. None of it. Not even close. Because I had 15 losing trades one time in a row. 15 losing trades. I've yet to meet somebody who's ever done that. So at one stage, I was the worst trader in the world. Right, one stage it was, and that was the penny drop moment, the common sense moment. I thought to myself, I have spent 18 months, and I mean working very hard at this, doing 18-hour days of this, because what I have mentioned is I broke this in my back at this time. All right, so I didn't even have the ability to work. All right, and I obsessed over this. I fell in love with trading, and I spent from the moment I could open up my eyes in the morning to the moment I could not keep my eyes open. I even fell asleep at the desk many times. And I obsessed with it, and I done exactly what they said. I went through all these exact candlestick patterns and whatnot, and used every indicator you can think of, and really studied it, and none of it worked. And then, as I say, on paper trading, I had 15 losing trades in a row, like legit, perfectly picked trades that they had taught me how to do it, and they all lost. And that was the penny drop moment for me, the eye opener. I said I have spent almost 20 grand here on mentorships and programs, and I've learned all the same regurgitated shit. It was the same thing, twisted a little bit. All right. And I knew then, exact same day, I think it's divine intervention from God. I read that 98% of all traders fail. And then I said to myself, because 98% of us learn all the same things. Okay. And with that, I deleted all the courses. I took myself out of every Discord group, Telegram group, Signal group, mentorship, program, you name it, I done it. And I locked myself in my office, as I say, for 18 months. And I figured it out. I realized it's all to do with market structure. All right? All to do with market structure. Market structure is exactly what you see in front of you. All right? It's the algorithm that is in front of you, the program that's in front of you. Now, am I going to show you what market structure is in this lecture? Obviously not. Market structure for fellas on my even Fffx final legacy mentorship, we are 14 lectures deep, I think, already. All right, and I'm talking hours and hours and hours of material, and we are still on market structure and will be for a long time. Whenever you learn market structure, I promise you, as long as you learn it correctly, it's all you need, and you will make a fortune on it. All right. You really will. But this is where you start to learn market structure, right? This. Now, one thing I want to change about this is, or sorry, I'm going to add into this a few more things, is you need tools. All right. Now, Do you see any indicators on my tools? No. All right. This is what you need. A long position. Now, if you don't know what a long position is, it's simply put, it's a buy. So this gray area, actually yours will look like this. All right. Hold on, we'll set these up for you first, actually. So apologies, I'm getting a wee bit ahead of myself. But you want yours to look like this. So firstly, if you look over to the left-hand side, all right, you'll see a little arrow. Left click it. Everything I have starred, star, all right? Trend line. And don't even start in trend lines. There's no such thing as a trend line, no such thing as support and resistance. This is merely what I use to mark market structure out, all right? Horizontal line, okay? Horizontal ray, vertical line. Star all them things. Like they'll pop up in your your tool panel, as we say. If you can't find your tool panel, it's sitting about here somewhere on your screen. The more you add, the bigger it gets. Now the next one, you don't need anything. None of them matter, okay? This one, you want long position, short position. Short position is just sell, long position is a buy. Price range and date range, all right? I use price range mainly for, let's just say, investments in crypto. All right, I just kind of look at maybe how far it's moved. All right, you're not going to use it too much in trading forex. Right, tick all them. The next one, you want your arrow, your rectangle, and your path. Okay, and the next one, you don't need anything. On the next one, obviously, you don't need anything. Okay, if you can't see your tool panel, all right, drawings panel, this disappears. Right, it's because you've this throttle off and on. Right, you need that on. Drawing panel must be on. If you can't see your tools, right, it's because this is unstarred. See in the bottom left corner here, if I click that, it disappears. Click it, it comes back. Right. Now, if it's not in this order, don't panic. You just left click, hold it down, and drag stuff over. You know, if you want this to go with this, and you want these to go here, put them in your own way order. All right. What are they used for? Okay. So if you're putting on a buy position, you click long. Long position is buy position. Say you're going to buy here. Yours is going to look like this. Okay. Your red area is your stop loss. Your green area is your take profits. All right. If you're in a sell, okay, so say you sold here, yours again is going to look like this because I'm just applying defaults. And your red area is obviously your stop loss. So if it comes back and touches the end of that, it shuts the trade. And this is your TP, your take profit. So if it touches this here, it will automatically close the trade and it will bank your profits, all right? Provided you have the digits put in, okay, that match this. Now, this is kind of going a little bit deeper than it should, but I'm going to do it anyway, all right? I'm going to give you more info as to why my charts look like this. All right, why, Finny, is your candles a different color? Why? All right, I go back to what we previously had is this, and I'll tell you why. And this is a never spoke about, right? No, you're actually getting a little bit of mentorship psychology here, which is a big thing. I don't give stuff like this away most of the time because I only give it away to people that actually want to be traders, and I like giving it away to them people, you know. I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing the difference. If you look at this screen right now, right? And by the way, if you want to make this a little bit bigger, hit F11 on your keyboard, right? It makes it bigger. You want to make it smaller, do that, all right? These candlesticks are a psychological battle, and I'll tell you why. Whenever you see red, what do you associate red with? Danger. Stay away. Get out. Stop. Like, worry. It's all, I know, so I see some people roll their eyes and make, oh, fucking hell, what a load of balls. Fine, go on ahead, do your own thing. All right. I'm telling you now, it will make you panic whenever the market goes against you. All right. And what does green represent? Go, get in, get you excited, jump into the trade, blah, blah, blah. All right. It's a psychological battle because it will make you panic if the market goes against you because it's red. Let's just say you're on a buy. Okay. And it will make you excited. Okay. Because you see a green and you think, like, this is moving up real quick. I need to get in. It's what everybody knows as FOMO, fear of missing out. And it will, in the subconscious mind, destroy you as a trader, or at least prolong your learning stage. All right. I don't like red and I don't like green because red to me is a warning. All right. And green to me is go, this is safe, blah, blah, blah. All right. That's why mine are set to like neutral, calm colors, such as blue and grey. Okay. That's why my cell, all right, is not red and green. It is, oops, this went down to 12 pips. My bad, it's set at 12 pips, by the way. Is grey and blue. Okay? Because if the market, say I'm in a trade here, all right, and let's just bang this into replay mode, just start again. And the market goes against me, and my stop loss is sitting here somewhere. In grey, all right? Sorry about all these hide in advance. In grey, okay? I don't worry about it going against me temporarily. I'm not thinking, oh, I have to make my stop loss bigger, or I must close the trade because the market's going against me. There's no red candles in mine. There's no red anywhere in mine. All right, I'm not worried. Okay, especially because I know how to trade. I know where the market structure's going. All right, it makes no difference. And even the same way for, see, way that big, that would be a big red candle there. All right, generally speaking, as default. I don't get excited. Right, I let the market play out. It's very neutral. It's very relaxing to my mind. All right, I'm not worried if the market goes against me. I'm not thinking in terms of danger and excitement. Okay, not. I'll put this back to. Excuse me. I need to go to settings here. I don't know why this does this all the time. Bear with me. I'm just going back to here. If I was to change this to the default, all right, and it was red, and my stop loss is sitting here, and all I see now is red, then I started thinking, oh my God, this is going against me. What a lot of people tend to do is they will close the trade, right? They will move their stop loss bigger, and that should never ever happen. Once you enter a trade and your stop loss is in place, it should remain exactly where you had it. You have to be prepared to lose at times in trading. But this doesn't make you, this makes you panic. See the difference, all right? Look, oh my God, it's red, it's panic. And imagine all these candlesticks are in default red, by the way, which I will show you as well. And next thing you know, you're back into your winning trade, all right? It is a psychological thing in trade, okay? So currently, yours is going to be sitting as these colors, right? I will go, where's my red? And the body's red, borders are red, sorry. The wicks are red. This is a different red. I'll actually just go like this, will be far quicker. Excuse me. Settings. I'll just go to play defaults, right? I just should have done that way at the start. But the difference, so imagine I'm selling. It has went against me, and this is red, these are red, these are red, and these are green. There is no advantage to having candlesticks that color. All right. They make you shit the bed. They play with your mind. Trust me, they do. All right. I suggest changing the color of your candlesticks. All right. To something that you like, by the way. I'm just going to knock off replay mode here. To something that you like. All right. It doesn't have to be the same as mine. So mine is set to this. All right. I'm just going to go to finish dark. All right. Mine's set to this. Neutral colors. I suggest you, and you by all means follow my color scheme if you want. I have no problem with that, all right? But I suggest you do what you like, all right? Because at the end of the day, you don't need a candle to be red to tell you it's going down, all right? It's always about where the candle's opened, where it's closed. Opened, closed. Opened, closed. Opened, closed. And then it goes vice versa, the other way about. So to change the color of the candlesticks, you can merely double click on the candle, right? Go to symbol and mess about with it. So maybe the body, maybe you like purple, all right? Maybe you want the body, the outline of the body to be purple, all right? Maybe you want your bearish candles to be white. Okay, maybe that's your theme. All right, by bearish, I mean candles that are coming down. Bullish candles is the first one, right? I just like this. And again, I'm just going to double click on this. If you can't do that, just go right click, settings, go to symbol, and it'll take you to it. And this is my color scheme, all right? So by all means, you want to follow this. You can pause it. My gray, okay, the borders, gray, the wick. So this is the bullish candles, meaning the ones that go up, and this is the bearish candles. Once you've done that again, go to save as. Again, if you have already saved it, simply go down, okay, save as, save. Yes, you know, overlap. Now, another thing you need you to do is up here in the right hand corner. Once you have set your chart out the way it is, so you've got rid of the grid, you've got rid of the white background, maybe you like it. Again, each to their own. It will fry the eyes out of you. You put the candlestick colors to what you like. You have added all these, right? So this is your little panel now, okay? Your toolbar. You've organized them. I want you to go to, excuse me, somebody are knocking on my door here. Hold on. Sorry, I had to pause the video there for a second. So where was I? Yes, go to this, all right? And make sure you've got auto save on, right? Okay. And you can go to rename, all right? So you want to save your chart layout, all right? You want to save it in your name. Click save, all right? And it will save that chart from now on. After you do that, okay, there's another thing I want you to do is see here, okay? You might have different, these are the time frames, right? These are the time frames you should be working with. So once you hit this little drop down, you might have completely different ones up here. This is the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 4 hour, daily, weekly, monthly. Drop down that and star, okay? Star all the ones that I have, okay? Monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 15 minute, 5 minute, and 1 minute, okay? And go back to save. It should save it anyway, okay? but click on it. It'll say auto save in blue here if it hasn't, and just save it again. All right. Right click again, settings, go to template, save as, just drop down, select your name again. Okay, save, because I want it to save your time frames, because this is the only time frame you're going to be looking at, right? The monthly, meaning every single one of these candlesticks is a month long, right? Just going to drag this out of the way. So all these are a month long, all right? If I go to the weekly, every one of these candlesticks is a week. You can see the countdown, all right? The daily, okay, 24 hours, 4 hour. So see how the market structure changes as you go through the time frames, because all these are 4 hours now. 15, 5, and 1. Right, meaning every 1 minute a new candlestick opens. So that's the wee countdown. Right, again, on the right hand side, that's your scale. On the bottom is your time. All right, now if your chart looks like this, all right, I'd like to go through some of the problems. Okay, there's a couple of ways to fix this. All right, one, you can right click and just go to reset chart view. All right, it's not going to let you pull the chart up, it'll only let you go side to side. To release that, you come over here to your numbers, your price, left click and hold on your mouse and drag it, all right? And then it's the same for the time down at the bottom here. Hover out over it, left click and hold and drag it in or out, up or down, okay? So if you see this, again, don't worry. Again, you can resize it yourself if you want, or simply right click, reset chart view, and release it. Okay, that's your price, that's your time. All right, now I'm trying to go through a few wee problems that I remember people having. For example, this, right? This is a long position. If yours is default and you don't like that, and again, I do highly suggest changing it, okay, for obvious reasons, the psychological reason, you can customize these as well. All right, so double click on this, left click or right click and go to settings, right? And this comes up. Long, you can rename it something like a buy if you want, okay? But you go to style, right? And what you want to do is change the color. So your stop color or your target color. Mine, as I say, is this, okay? So if you like that, again, this is what mine is, right? It is, where's my blue? So I have it, the capacity turned way down on it, all right? So it's not like that mad white color, all right? I just have it down till about, just sort of fades away in the background a bit, all right? And then you have the target, the tick profit area, all right? I have it in blue. Again, capacity is way down, all right? It would look like this if you just picked it. I always like to turn it down low. I like it to fade in the background because I want to concentrate on market structure, right? You can do compact, allow status, etc., etc. Visibility, you want to see it in every time frame. Your inputs is just where your entry price is, so that's how we line there. Okay, that's exactly where you would have entered. The difference between that's the very center point of your take profit and your stop loss. Your take profit level, that's that price up here. So if you look 15635, it says 15635. Okay. Stop loss level, as you see down here in grey, 15395. Again, 15395. And if you adjust that, again, it's going to change. Or you can do it from here. All right. If you want it to sit at 15420, 15420, okay. All right. So once you've done that, set it up how you like, the color of it. Again, save as, put your name there, Mohammed Salah, or somebody like that. And I'd love that man on my watching this here. And save it. Okay. And that's how you do that. Now, This is a fib retracement. Again, this is only setting up TradingView. I can't get into all these other things because it takes so many lectures, folks. I really would love to give absolutely everything away, but I just want people to start off on where they should start off on TradingView. All right, you know, if you don't do that, you're going to fail. You're going to get sucked into all the easy ways, and men and women, there is no easy ways to learn how to trade. There's only one way. It is hard. I'm not saying it to put you off because I'd love you to be a trader. I'd love everybody to be a trader because then I get more people to talk to be honest. But uh, there is no easy way. The only way to learn is to start from ground zero, to set up this trading view and then start looking into things like market structure. All right. Um, and learning about market structure. This is market structure for a quick example. By the way, this is called a path. All right. It just means, people do this. This is another thing. If you're looking at, higher highs and lower lows and higher highs and blah, 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 that's a load of bollocks as well. Who cares? Oh, no, that's not a higher high. Oh, hold on. This is a higher low. What? Just wise up, right? It's nothing to do with that, right? It's about how the market moves, right? That's market structure, what I see. The rest of it's all noise in between it, okay? Everything else are totally irrelevant. Again, I cannot explain market structure in a little video. It just takes too much time to go through everything. My eye sees that, right? So I'm gonna hide. Where is hide? Gonna hide the chart, right? That's what my eye sees. Okay, in between it's just noise. That's what I mean by a market structure, just lightly put. Um, very, very lightly put. But I just wanted to give you a video to show you how to set up, or a lecture to show you how to set up a tradingview.com, right? You go to the home screen, you sign up, create an account, you select a monthly subscription to TradingView. If you're going to take it serious, you're going to do that. Otherwise, you can't save the chart. Every time you come back, it will be in default mode. All right. Um, and you're going to have to go through the whole thing again. Whereas when you have an account, you can save, select settings and save this. All right. Save your layout. All right. Save your layout. Auto save. If you don't do that, it's going to be a big, big problem. Okay. So you should have all these time frames. You should have all these tools, and to drag the tools about, by the way, just when the hand comes up, left click and hold. All right. You should not have volume. You should not have indicators. There should be nothing on your chart. This is how my chart looks. Exactly how my chart looks at all times until I go down third trade. All right. Clean as a whistle. Not that a whistle's that clean. I never got that saying before. But clean. All right. This here, I'm going to show you a fine example like this. It drives me mental. All right. When I see this, okay, yep. And then I want volume, yeah. And then I want a Bollinger Band. When I see all that in a chart, nonsense. That just confuses the life out of you. What are you supposed to be looking at? Like, and it's not that I can't read these, by the way. I can read them. I have tested the life out of them. This is the 18 months of 18-hour days and pure desperation. I wanted to make it as a trader. I went through all these, right? Your chart should never ever look like that. And you should never ever have an indicator. Right? Never. It should be clean, and you should always look at one pair. And I suggest keeping it at Euro USD. All right? You don't need anything else. You don't need more pairs and Fffx to make more money, because you make the exact same money in one pair as you do in every other pair. Pick one and master it. Euro USD is the easiest pair. Okay? And understand that you're getting into a journey that is going to take you a long time. A long time. But you got to ask yourself the question, do you mind working at this for the next year or two and setting yourself up for life? All right? Or do you want to stick at what you're doing now for the next 40, 50, 60 years? That's up to you. Because the decisions you make today or the decisions you made 10 years ago is the repercussions of where you are today. I have lads I have mentored, took 3 years to become a successful trader. Because life gets in the way. Right? Some people struggle to find motivation. Some people struggle to find the time. Some people, something happens in their life that pulls them away from trading, you know. And then I had a lad who done it in under a year. All right. So you got to understand, not everybody, it's not a graduation, you know, it's not a university degree. You don't know where the finish line is. But if you're that person that's like, I do want to be a trader and there's nobody's going to stop me from being a trader. And I just need to learn the right things because I know I can do this and I know there's nothing else I want to do. Then you're going to do it. Nothing's going to stop you. It's impossible to stop a man or a woman that is determined to make it. There's no family, no man, no beast is going to stop you from becoming what you want to become. But you got to dedicate time to this. You got to dedicate and make some sacrifices. As I say, I've lost, unfortunately lost friends over it from maybe them taking it the wrong way, like turning down, as I say, nights out and going to weddings and whatnot for multiple reasons of not being able to afford to do it at the time, which hurt a lot. All right. And for me, thinking to myself, I've got to make the sacrifice now if I want to benefit from it in the future. All right. So here's the right place to start. You've done the right thing to sit and watch this lecture. All right. Please feel free if you have any comments you want to put on or any problems you have, I will answer them. Okay. But it will have to be about a TradingView. All right. So I really hope you enjoyed that. I am genuinely honored that and privileged you've decided to watch the lecture I've done. I hope you benefit from it. I hope you understand the psychological. I know I've only touched on it, by the way. You have got to understand that, the lectures I do on mentorships are mega. Like there's multitudes of them and they are hours and hours long. And I tell every fella and woman that's on it, you're talking a minimum of 12 months learning. And what I teach then is the algorithm, because this isn't random, folks. Right? It's not support and resistance. It's certainly in indicators and certainly in candlestick patterns. It is a setup. It is a system and a program behind this. And I prove that. And thanks be to God, as I say, that it is. Because if it was truly random, nobody could figure it out. Right? I just decoded it. Right? And this is where I started. Here. This is where I started to actually become a trader, not a dreamer. Here on tradingview.com, on the charts, analyzing. 18-hour days looking at sequences, like what's happening. Why is this doing this? Oh, that's going to do that. Here, I've seen that sequence before. Not a candlestick pattern, a sequence. And I used to write it down all the time. The market's going to go. It's going to go here. Where's my mouse now? It's going to go here. It's going to run up into this, and then it's going to sink. And I'd write that down, and I'd be like, if that does that and does this, I'm going to put a sell position here. Let's move this back to my right, and I'm going to put my stop loss here, and I'm going to aim for here. Right, I would do that over and thousands of times, until I started to see the results, and I would do it in paper trading as well, as I say. Okay, and then I could see it in black and white. Then you want to move on. All right, so thank you so much for listening. I've just a couple more things I want to talk about. Firstly, if you don't mind, if you give us a follow on this YouTube, all right? If you don't mind, be very careful on TikTok, please. My name on TikTok is Finney, all right? Finny. Not the at. The at bit is not Finney. The at bit on TikTok is Finney Fella FX. FINNYFELLAFX. No dots, no spaces, no funny letters, no extra letters, no I's that are L's, none of that. The name has to be Finney. The at has to be Finney Fella FX, exactly like that as I spelled out. Because unfortunately, these immoral people are out there pretending to be me and scamming people out of money, making them send them crypto and all that nonsense. They're getting them on to Telegram, they're getting them on WhatsApp, they're getting them on Discord, everywhere. And I'm like, people are losing money, their hard-earned money, sending these vermin money. All right, and they're getting scammed using my name. So please be very careful. So if you haven't already, I'd appreciate a follow on TikTok, a follow on YouTube. Any comments you have are more than welcome. All right, even ones that you might not like. All right, I'm more than welcome them comments, because if I haven't explained it right, I'd like to know that. I'd like to rectify that. Okay. And a follow on Instagram as well. Funny Fella FX would be nice too. I'm always going to try and give away a certain amount of free information. If I was to give away everything I know in 10 years, again, that's why the mentorships are, and it takes a minimum 12 months, right? Because there's just so much to learn. And it's hard to learn, okay? But like anything in time, it becomes easy, all right? So I really appreciate it. I really hope you've got a benefit out of that from wherever you are in the world. God bless you and your family. God bless the journey that you're on in trading. And thank you so much for watching this, and any comments you have. And I will add the link to the discount for TradingView.com in the comments. Again, I think it gets you 15% off. You don't want to use it, you don't have to. You just go and sign up the normal way. No problem whatsoever. And hope you enjoyed that. Hope you liked it. And I will see you God knows when. All right. So take care. God bless. This is setting up TradingView.com. And best of luck with your trading journey. If you want to continue talking about trading or anything, don't be afraid to reach out to me. Anybody that might be interested in a future mentorship, feel free to book in at a call. I'm happy enough to talk to people about trading anyway, whether it's regardless of a mentorship or not. And I wish you all the best. Take care, God bless, and look after yourselves. Bye-bye.